Good day everyone, and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh, and especially to our instructor Ma'am Cassandra Bondula. So first, I am Haria Nok together with my group mate Miss Rohana Sangeban. So today's video is we are the presenters or the reporters. So today we would be discussing the module 6, the innovative technologies for assessment task in teaching and learning. So the lesson 1, ICT and assessment of learning. So assessment is very important in student learning. There are many approaches to assessment in learning with an emphasis on the process of learning along with the product of learning. So the ultimate measure of students' competence is performance. And the development in information and communication technology, the ICT, has thrown open numerous possibilities for assessing students' learning and providing immediate feedback. And then we have here the four types of assessment. So the first one is the formative assessment. The second one is the summative assessment. The third one is the diagnostic assessment, and the fourth one is the authentic assessment. So the formative assessment provides feedback and information during the instructional process while learning is taking place and while learning is occurring. So when we talk about the formative assessment, is ito yung nagbibigay ng feedback sa teacher sa kanyang mga students, or what we call that this is the daily assessment na ginagawa ni teachers sa kanyang learners or sa kanyang students. So like for example is nagpapa-quiz si teachers during their discussions. After the discussion is nagbibigay ng quizzes si ma'am or si sir, or sometimes naman is nagpapa-oral sila. And then the summative assessment takes place after the learning has been completed and provides information and feedback that sums up the teaching and learning process. So summative assessment is ito yung end of year assessment. So like for instance is yung mga final examinations natin, yung quarterly assessment natin na ginagawa natin the end of the at the end of the chapter, at the end of the lesson or the yearly assessment. So diagnostic assessment can help you identify your students' current knowledge of a subject, their skill sets and capabilities, and to clarify misconceptions before teaching takes place. Knowing students' strengths and weaknesses can help you better plan what to teach and how to teach. So when we talk about the diagnostic assessment naman is ito yung like for example is the students work like for example yung mga like for portfolios na pinapagawa sa atin yung and yun yung like for instance yung ginawa natin kay Ma'am Kamaria na gumawa tayo ng portfolio. So yun yung one example ng diagnostic assessment. So the fourth one is the authentic assessment. So authentic assessment describes the multiple forms of assessment that reflect student learning achievement, instructionally relevant classroom activities, motivation and attitudes on. So when we talk about the authentic assessment naman is ito yung mga actual performance ni students. So ito yung mga yung mga actual outcomes or actual performance ni students na pinapagawa ni teachers. Like for example yung mga like yung mga visual aids like scrapbooks and mga collage or the performance task, yung mga role play Yung public speaking or even dancing is one of the example of the authentic method or the authentic assessment. So the presentations also is the examples of the authentic assessment. And now let's proceed to the role of ICT and assessment in learning. So there are new technologies of creative to provide students with higher level thinking skills, particularly the skills. So we have the different technologies na pinaprovide ni students with the higher level thinking skills. So the use of ICT of examination can be an opportunity to teach and assess those skill nation and results of ICT. So with the use they can recorded and stored and can easily be on the results of assessment. So feed later the right away give feedback to students in the probed student performance in later use of the SAM material. So now let's proceed to the major advantages of online examinations are: the first is the accessibility and flexibility, the second one is the time management, and the third one is save cost, and the fourth one is the statistical analysis. So there are four advantages of the online examination. So the online examination can save cost by reducing the need for physical materials, venues, and manpower. So like for example is kapag nasa online examination tayo is hindi na tayo na problema sa kung saan man gaganapin yung exam na yon, kasi which is meron na tayong online examinations na ginagamit through online. So it is save cost na para mapadali sa students yung mga ginagawa niya na kapag may online examinations. So they also provide flexibility and accessibility. So allowing students to take exams from almost anywhere. So yun, kahit saan ka pwede ka mag-take ng exam, online exam. And then additionally, online systems facilitate time management and provide statistical analysis of results. And the current trends in assessment and learning. So traditional assessment like object tests such as multiple choice, matching type, true or false, and other paper and pencil tests receive criticism by some experts in assessment. So let's proceed now to the 21st century assessment includes utilizing multiple measures of assessment, the increasing the use of technology, focus on the growth and development of the learner, and the differentiating the roles and responsibilities of the teachers, administrators, and stakeholders. And the characteristics in selecting appropriate assessment tools, whether conventional or ICT based assessment. So measure this desired level of performance, level of satisfaction, productivity, efficiency, and student performance. And the second one is the cost effective in terms of effort, time, and money, and the useful that will produce results that provide information that can be used in making decisions to improve student learning. Reasonably accurate and truthful, dependable, consistent responses over time. And the last one is the evidence of being ongoing, not once and done. So online tasks assigned by the teachers will assess the collaborative, problem-solving construct, and the 5 strands, the participation, perspective taking, social regulation, task regulation, as well as students' learning and knowledge building skills according from Drigas and Karyotaki 2016. So let's proceed now to the creating and utilizing rubric. So a rubric is a set of criteria used to determine a scoring for an assignment, performance, or product. So this can be used to score many kinds of written assignments or exams, papers, projects, speeches, or e-portfolios. So when we talk about the rubric, kasi yung mga set of criteria na ginagamit for scoring sa ating mga like assignment or yung performance task na ginagawa natin is halimbawa nagbibigay si teacher ng criteria or rubric. So the main purpose is to assess student performance. The teachers may observe the student in the process of doing something like making their projects, online drill, tutorial, and many more. So we have here the two types of rubric, the analytic rubrics and the holistic rubric. So analytic rubrics describe work on each criterion separately. It utilizes separate holistic ratings of specific characteristics, products, or behavior. So meaning analytic rubrics is ito yung separately na ginajudge tayo ni teachers sa ating mga performance. So kumbaga from the word na ratings of specific characteristics. The holistic rubrics naman is describe the work by applying all the criteria at the same time and enabling an overall judgment about the quality of the work. So overall na ginajudge tayo ni teachers or ni judges ay sa holistic rubrics. So now let's proceed to the electronic examination. So computer-based assessment or the CBA, the computer-based testing, the CBT or e-exam is a test conducted using personal computer or the PC or an equivalent electronic device in which the delivery, responses, and assessment are affected electronically. So when we talk about the computer-based assessment or the CBA is yung mga electronic examination or the online examinations na modern na ginagawa natin ngayon sa panahon natin ngayon sa 21st century of the assessment. So CBT or e-exam is a test conducted using a personal computer or ginagamit natin yung PC, yung computer mismo yung ginagamit natin through online examination. So computer-based testing is more efficient than paper-based test because it is an individualized testing and has faster score reporting within few minutes after last submission. So the computer-based testing is ito yung kapag na foster natin yung score reporting natin within few minutes. So after natin mag-take ng exam is means na kapag submissions na ng exam natin is pwede natin tingnan kung ilang scores ba yung or kung ilang scores ba na na-take natin sa exam na yon. So the students can immediately view the scores on screen and more convenient for teachers and students. So electronic portfolio. So an electronic portfolio, which is also known as a e-portfolio. So digital portfolio or online portfolio. So ito yung Wikipedia is a collection of electronic evidence assembled and managed by a user, usually at the web. Zimmerman 2012. So e-portfolio includes input text, electronics files, images, multimedia, vlog entries, and the hyperlinks. So both demonstrations of the user's abilities and platforms for self-expression. So electronic portfolio is ito yung mga input text na ginagawa natin sa ating portfolio na na minsan is naglalagay tayo ng mga files or images. For blog entries naman and the hyperlinks. So we have here the types of e-portfolio. So the first one is the ideal portfolio. It contains all work of students. It is not given to provide students grade. So contents of the work of students na it is not given to provide students grade. It is the ideal portfolio. This showcase or the professional e-portfolios, it is primarily a way to demonstrate or showcase the highlights of a student's academic career. And the documentation portfolio naman is involves of a collection of work over time showing growth and improvement, reflecting students' learning of identified outcomes. So when we talk about the documentation portfolio, is ito yung mga collection of work ng isang students or halimbawa the researchers. So if you are the researcher, so kapag nagsisurvey ka, like for instance is gumagawa ka ng documentations para ilagay mo dun sa portfolio mo na yon. So the learning e-portfolio, so typically created by student as part of learning activity as a way to demonstrate learning and the learning process. And the last one is the evaluation or the assessment e-portfolio. So teacher may utilize this for both formative and summative assessment. And now we have here the 5 tenets of global citizenship. So the first is the personal responsibility. The second one is the global citizenship, and the digital citizenship, the altruistic service, and the last one is the environmental stewardship. So personal responsibility includes demonstrating how we manage ourselves in matters such as personal finance, ethical and moral boundaries, personal health and wellness, and relationships of every kind. So both online or offline, for the students, this kind of responsibility means taking ownership of his or her learning. So developing a sense of accountability for lifelong learning in our students prepares them for the workplace. Personal responsibility is, as you can see sa pictures in this image, so emphasizes the personal responsibility or it is including self-management or the ethical conduct, the health, relationships, and ownership of learning for students' workplace readiness. These are places where they must often think and act independently and take initiatives on their own. So encouraging this is in the classroom as early as possible can help students develop high-level critical thinking and problem-solving abilities to assist them in every aspect of their lives. So now let's proceed to the global citizenship. So the global citizenship or the global digital citizen understands that technology has dissolved boundaries between all the world's people. So we now communicate, collaborate, and celebrate across all the levels of society. So when we talk about the global is the around the world na siya or the yun buong mundo is sa buong mundo is we communicate or we collaborate and celebrate across the all levels of society. So we are now the all global citizens. So our students must realize among the other things that we aren't isolated from each other anymore. So a deep understanding of this new global disconnectedness can encourage them to be aware of the issues traditions, values, and cultures of other citizens. So that leads to cultivating understanding, acceptance, compassion, and humility. So, digital citizenship covers appropriate and exemplary behavior in our online environment. So, it's about working towards making our transparent digital world safe for ourselves and others. So, just like personal responsibility, this involves moving accountability for appropriate behavior to our students. So we teach them how to govern this behavior, act in just and moral ways, and lead by good example in all online associations. So in doing so, they foster independence within themselves and hopefully light the way for others to do the same. So digital citizenship meaning it is emphasizing online behavior or the safety of the students in terms of online. So their responsibility and teaching students to act morally and ethically in digital environments. So let's proceed to the altruistic service. So altruism is defined as having a selfless concern for the well-being of others. So the global digital citizens acknowledge that they share this world with many different people. So these ideals apply to the people we know but also to those we don't know. This includes embracing the opportunity to exercise charity and goodwill for the benefit of others. So, the practice of altruistic service provides opportunities for our students to create meaningful connections to the real world. So, it gives them to chance to reach out to the others and do things that can make a person's experiences better or easier in everyday life. So this produces a sense of community and well-being for all. So altruism is it is defined as selfless concern for the well-being of others. So it depicts one hand reaching out to help another hand that is submerged in rippling water. Meaning, it involves acting out of the desire to help, not from duty or expectation of reward. So altruism can manifest as helping family. So, keen altruism expecting future reciprocal altruism, supporting one's group, cultural group altruism, or helping with no personal benefit or the pure altruism. So it creates meaningful connections and improves well-being within a community. So it is also considered the opposite of selflessness. And now let's proceed to the environmental stewardship. So this practice is all about the common sense, values, and an appreciation for the beauty and majesty that surround us every day. So this facet of global digital citizen encourages exploring how we can practice the conscientious use of Earth's resources. Environmental stewardships encourages every student to take a positive stand on personal, local, regional, national, and international actions regarding the preservation of what is essentially our environmental community. So this practice, the environment stewardship, is the common sense, values, and appreciations of the beauty of our natures or the majesties that around us every day. So the global digital citizenship reinforces the idea that we have one world we all live on. So it's vital that we respect it and take steps to ensure its beauty and longevity for all for future generations. See, by Watanabe or the Croquet 2017. And that's it for today. Thank you for watching and listening, and hopefully you'll learn more in my topic. And again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.